What's up everyone? Welcome to my first episode of how I made this track. Today I will show you how I produced my newest release in collaboration with the label Next Generation Music or simply NGM. So before everything, I would like to say that this track was inspired by KH91's Flux, but with my own touch added to it. Firstly, I want to start with the intro. Here is nothing complicated at all, just some vocal chops. The first track here. These chops are from cymatics and are perfectly pitched and stretched to match the key and the BPM of my song. For it, I added some basic effects, for example, some EQ, compression, some saturation because we want to make the chops being present in my track, so I just increased a little of saturation, reverb, of course, and delay. Good. Now we have the piano. Piano is really basic, nothing too special, just some chords, basic chords on the step 4 on 4. For effects, I have some EQ, compression, and reverb. The main bass line, which is a subline, I think. Yeah, it's a bass from the KH1 pack, the Weekend bass, which is mainly in the verses here, but I used it in the drop with other effects. Here this bass has EQ, compression, lots of saturation, and lots of distortion, but the compressor is saving our ears. For the drums, I use some kicks, some claps, and some loops and some percussions to make that groovy vibe. The kick, nothing too special, has just an EQ, basic one. The claps have EQ and reverb. For the vocal effects in the verse, I have some phrases vocal from the sample pack Omnivox 2, you can hear. And that's how it sounds without the other sounds and just the drums. For the build-up, I use the same claps and snare rolls from the intro and verse and decided to not make an automation for pitching them up to create that tension that goes on the drop because I just pitch up a little this vocal chop from here, as you can see, and it does its job quite nicely in combination with the cymatic chops from here, and it sounds like this. So the drop is the main attraction here in the song, but it is not that complicated. It's just this synth I used is the main sound you hear in the drop, and it's just a preset that I recreated from a stream from KH1 from 2019. It's just some progressive chords, as you can see here, and I distorted them at the maximum, and I used the ARP feature because, as you can see, the first in the pattern are just ARPs. But later, in the second part of the pattern, the ARP feature from Silent to make this line an ARP, so it can sound like this. Great! The groove it gives is just perfect for the vibe I went. For this preset, I use the cutoff automation, as you can see here, to bring the sound up and down to create a feeling like a wave that comes and goes, and added a reverb automation here, which may or may not be for everyone's taste, but I felt it gives some personality to the drop in combination with other elements. The second main sound you hear in the drop is a preset from Silent One called Weekend Bass, as I presented you earlier in the verses. I enabled the mono legato button here, and I played with the port out, and it sounds like this. Other than that, you just unplug it from KH1 to make the sound more melodic, and the drums are quite simple to predict since I wanted to make it simple here. This is the drop lead, which again is a simple lead from KH1, sounds like this. and the drums are nothing special. Everything has EQ, maybe compression, maybe the kick has compression, and the rest have reverb. When the first drop ends right here, it ends with some atmospheric vocal chops. And there is this bass here, which is not a mistake. I made this space empty intentionally because I felt it's cool. I first heard of it from KH1's Aurora track, and I wanted to use that idea here as well. Other than that, I have these arps here. Don't have the same rhythm on every bar because there are 3 chords right here and 4 chords right here. And it sounds like this. With a lot of reverb and delay, of course. Right after that, it comes the second verse, which the second verse and the second drop are similar to the first ones. To give the symmetry to the song, basically, it's just a lot of effects right here, saturation, a lot of reverb and delay. Here I use some amps from earlier, but this time there are only 3 chords to make it more dynamic in the drop and to give it a special vibe and that groove style. I forgot to mention, in the second verse, I used some plugs from KH1 again. These are some plugs to make the second verse more melodic. I felt it's just the first verse again, and I just wanted to make it more different. In the end, I want to thank everyone for the support, even if there are not really big numbers on my videos or my streams on Spotify. But I really appreciate everyone who listens and leaves a comment on my videos. It really makes me continue posting my music. I hope everyone learned something from this video, and I think I will make more videos about how I make my future releases. Well, that's it for today. Thank you. Have a great Friday.